Okay, you guys, mystery stamping number 9. Can you guys believe we've been doing this for 9 weeks straight? This is exciting. This week we are going to be featuring a fun fold card. So if you are in need of supplies, the supply list has been posted to the Crazy Mom Crafts a Lot Facebook page. However, next week, excuse me, is the last week. I will be posting to the Facebook page. If you are in need of the supply list to join us for our fun Mystery Stamping Friday event, please go to my website at www.crazymomcraftsalot.com and sign up for the newsletter. And that way you will have the supply list emailed to you, where it will be much easier for you to print out and view the supply list for you to gather your supplies. So let's get to it, okay? Okay, what will your card look like? It's a mystery. We will follow the clues, and at the end, we will all have cards with a similar design. However, our cards will have different colors, patterns, and some other creative differences that we can all take throughout. Here we go. Clue number 1. Take the 4-inch wide by 11-inch high cardstock B piece, turn it sideways so it's now horizontal, and score one side at 2 3/4 inches from the edge. So you're taking your 4-inch wide by 11-inch high cardstock B piece. You're going to turn it sideways, so it's horizontal, and score one edge at 2 3/4 inches. When you're done, go ahead and type done number 1 for the clue, so I know that you are caught up and able to move on to the next step. This is a different type of card than we've made in past. Our cards are going to start becoming a little bit more challenging as we go along whenever it's a fun fold card. So just keep an open mind. If you have questions, go ahead and type them into the chat, and I will do my best to help you. How many of you have done fun fold cards before? Is this a card design that you guys are familiar with doing fun fold cards? Fun fold cards are cards that don't just open and close as a traditional card would. They have other features. They have other interactive elements sometimes. There's a little bit more dimension to them. So fun fold cards are a blast, and they are the next way to step up your card making if you're looking for a bit of a challenge. Okay, these are new to you, Pat? Good, so we'll see. We will see how that goes. At the end today, I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Okay, we're just waiting on a couple others. Okay, great. So all you're doing is putting your cardstock so that the long way is going this direction, and you're scoring one side at 2 3/4 inches. So I'll help you guys out here because I know we've talked about having some beginners. So normally your trimmer would be off here to one side with your trimmer measurements starting at 1, 2, 3 and going on. you would take your cardstock to 2 3/4 inches, and this is the line that your blade or your scoring blade would be, and you would go ahead and score down. So that's what that's referring to. Oop. You know, I'm always shaking you guys, sorry. We'll have to do another shake, rattle, and roll class. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to clue number 2. Turn your cardstock vertical, so it's up and down now, and leave your card completely open. There are now 3 sections, 1 large and 2 smaller. The half with the large side is the top half. If you want, you can mark it lightly in the center of the card that that's the top half. The half at the bottom that has 2 smaller sections now is your bottom half. The most bottom half of your card now is going to be your card front. If you want, mark it lightly with pencil in the center. And I say mark it lightly in pencil with the center because it'll be covered up later. Excuse me, guys. Tell you what, these lights every time. So once you've marked your cardstock, if you feel the need to do that, go ahead and type done and number 2. So your cardstock is vertical right now. There's 3 sections. There's 1 large. I'm going to scoot this over some. There's 1 large section. Then there's 2 smaller sections. The one at the very, very bottom is your front. The big section at the top is your top half. Okay. So we've all got that figured out, I hope. I'm going to go ahead and move on. Clue number 3, rotate your paper again. Okay, so you're going to turn it long ways is going this way. Okay. You're going to rotate your paper again and cut 1/8 of an inch off the top half of your cardstock B piece. Remember, the top half we just discussed is the largest section. You're going to cut off 1/8 of an inch. Now, you guys asked about that. I'll pull this back out. Here's my ruler. Okay, I'll try to get it where it's not too bad of a glare here. Okay, so this would be like your trimmer. The top half would be the biggest chunk here, and the 2 smaller sections will be off to your right. To measure 1/8 of an inch, you can bring your cardstock this way to the 1/8 of an inch mark and cut it down, or the way I prefer to do it, this is the easier method for me. If my cardstock is 11 inches, okay, I know it's 11 inches right now. I know I want to take off 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to slide my cardstock down to the 10 7/8 inch marking here on the far left. That leaves 1/8 of an inch hanging off this far right edge, and my trimmer blade is here. So it would slice 1/8 of an inch off this side. That's the way I prefer to cut things, keeping the majority of my cardstock on my trimmer base. For those of you that aren't sure, I'm going to keep this upside down because that's how your trimmer would be. Let's see if we can get the lighting somewhat decent here. All right, hopefully you guys can see that most of the way. Between 10 and 11 inches, there are 16 of these tiny markings, okay? That denotes a 1/16 of an inch. Every 2 would denote 1/8 of an inch. And if you see on the ruler, it gets slightly bigger, the line. As you go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, the line gets larger still. That denotes a 1/4 of an inch. And once you get up to 8 of the small markings, try to move that in the light for you, the line gets even larger still, which denotes a 1/2 inch, okay? You guys are only taking off 1/8 of an inch. So 2 of the tiny markings is 1/8 of an inch, okay? So if I line my cardstock up to my trimmer at 10 and 7/8, that would have me cutting off 1/8 of an inch from the far right-hand side. Okay, I hope that was somewhat helpful, but I will try to do an in-depth class on measurements for you guys. All right, so if everyone's got that 1/8 of an inch cut off the top half of the cardstock B piece, go ahead and let me know, done 3. Okay, there we go. Excuse me. So your top half is now going to be measuring 4 inches wide, just the top half now, 4 inches wide by 5 3/8 inches. That's what the measurement will be now. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Clue number 4. It gets easier past all this, guys, I promise. Now it's going to get much easier. You're going to lay your cardstock completely open. Cardstock A, which is 4 1/4 inches wide by 11 inches. Lay it completely open on the left here. Cardstock B, which is 4 inches wide, and now it's 10 7/8 of an inch. You're going to set that on the right-hand side. So you got one on the left, one on the right. Make sure cardstock B, the top is at the top. Okay? Easy peasy so far. We're just laying cardstock open and out. Let me know when you've got both pieces laid out. Cardstock A on the left, cardstock B on the right. Okay, done number 4s are coming in. That should be easy peasy. Okay. All right, we're gonna keep going here. Clue number 5. Next, you're gonna adhere the top of cardstock B. I'm so bad, I give this so much away. To the bottom half of cardstock A, okay? So you're taking the top half of cardstock B and you're adhering it to the bottom half of cardstock A. Here's another hint. The bottom edges will be lined up. The fold line of cardstock B and the bottom edge of cardstock A will be lined up together and even. So once you have those adhered down, go ahead and type done and 5 when you've got those adhered. Hang tight with me, guys. I promise once this all goes through, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'll try to walk it through slow. When you're done, type done and 5. So you're adhering the top half of cardstock B to the bottom half of cardstock A. Yep, both cards are completely in their open 11 inches here, and cardstock B is 10 7/8 of an inch here, so they're both open. And you're adhering the top half of cardstock B to the bottom half section of cardstock A. How are we doing, Esther? Think you got it? Okay, let me know when you're done. Okay, so moving on to card number, or clue number 6. Fold your cards up now together to look like a standard vertical card. Okay, so you're gonna kind of accordion fold your cards back and forth together. So now it should look like a standard vertical card. Here's a hint, if you're not sure, turn your card sideways, and if you hold the back in your left hand and the front in your right hand, you'll have a letter N shape. So if you hold the back side in your left hand and the front side in your right hand, you'll have a letter N shape. Okay, I'm gonna keep going because that's just a little hint. Okay. Okay. All right, great. Thanks, Pat. Okay, so now you're gonna lay your card back down on the table. Make sure the top fold of cardstock A is at the top, just like a standard card would open now. Okay, so cardstock A, make sure the top fold of cardstock A is at the top. Now you're gonna fold just the smaller half back down on the front of cardstock B. Okay, so your cards are folded up into a standard card. Okay, take the top half section of cardstock B and fold it down. So where you wrote the word front earlier, you should be looking at that now. You're going to attach to the front, where you put on in pencil before, your designer series paper, measuring 3 3/4 inch wide by 2.5 inches high. So your cards are all connected. They're laying flat. The top fold of cardstock A is at the top. You're just folding the smaller half of cardstock B down. And that's where you wrote the word front earlier in pencil. Now you're going to go ahead and attach to the front of your DSP the piece measuring 3 3/4 inches wide by 2.5 inches high. When you're done, go ahead and type done and 7. Okay, we have some dones coming in. I'll give you guys another minute and we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, you doing okay, Esther? You get it figured out, you think? We're gonna have some new types of fun fold cards here. Nope, you didn't get it? You want me to wait for you? You want me to move on? Okay. Clue number 8. Next, you're gonna pull cardstock B all the way down. Okay, so you're gonna pull the cardstock B front panel all the way down so it's completely open now. The top half of cardstock B almost now looks like a regular card front. Okay. It almost looks as if it would fit a standard card as a card front. Okay. So now you're going to continue to adhere the designer series paper sized to 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 1/8 inch high to the top half of cardstock B. You're going to adhere the designer series paper sized 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 1/8 inches high to the top half of cardstock B. Okay. When you're done 9, go ahead and type done 9. So remember, in the very beginning, we wrote top lightly in pencil on the top half of cardstock B. So you're covering up that pencil mark now with the designer series paper. Okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Now you're gonna stamp your sentiment in your chosen ink color on your sentiment label that was sized to 3.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches high approximately. Excuse me. Now you're stamping your sentiment in your chosen ink color on the sentiment label that was sized approximately 3.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches high. You just wanted to come in and see how you guys are doing. You guys, this is like the only quiet time I have all week. So funny. So let me know when you're done with your sentiment label. Isn't he cute? He's from the Pampered Pets set. So cute. I colored him with Stampin' Blends. Isn't he adorable? So stinking cute. Okay, I just had to show you guys him. Okay, moving on. Put adhesive now on the bottom half only of your sentiment label. I'm going to move through this a little quickly because if you guys are working with liquid glue. Put adhesive now on the bottom half only of your sentiment label. Okay. Now you're going to adhere the bottom half of your sentiment label to the top front small designer series paper covered section of cardstock B. This is the bottommost tiny section of cardstock B that was folded back down to face you. Hi, Amethyst. Hi, Mary. I didn't send you a reminder, Amethyst. I thought you were working. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're jumping on now. So you're adhering the bottom half of your sentiment label to the top front of the small designer series paper covered section of cardstock B. That was the spot that we had written front on in pencil. Half of your label is going to appear to be floating. It's not going to be attached to anything. Oh, I'm so glad you guys got to pop on. This has been a challenging card today, I think, for everyone. Okay, when you're done 12, don't forget to put done and 12. I'm so excited to see how your guys' cards came out. Okay, we have some done 12s coming in. How are we doing, Esther? You gonna make it? Okay. All right, so that was it. Now you can embellish however you would like. You can add ribbon to any of the layers. You can add enamel dots, pearls, rhinestones, wink of Stella, whatever bling you want to add on. Now's the time to do that. Let me know when you're done, Pat, and I'll do the reveal for everyone so they can see. Okay. You did it. I'm not sure what you did today, but you did it. Don't forget. Wahoo! Hooray! Don't forget to post your creations on the Crazy Mom Crafts a Lot Facebook group or email me for inclusion and I will add them on there. Here is the card that I created. Okay. I did add ribbon to mine, but I did not put that in the instructions because I didn't want to confuse you guys further. So this is the card. Okay. And the way this card stands up is like this. Let me see if I take these off of here for a minute. Can you see? It's a double easel fun fold card. So this is the piece of cardstock B. Let me get you guys back over here. We were at this one stage and I had you guys fold this down and put designer series paper on the front here. And then you attach your sentiment label, the bottom half adhesive only, and this is what it meant that it would be kind of floating. It's not attached to anything. So if we stand our card back up again, you guys can see how that stands up. I added ribbon to mine as I was creating it, but like I said, I left that off for you guys so that you guys could either add it at the end. You can just go ahead and tie it around the full cardstock front here. Or so that if you guys repeat this card, you can add it in between steps if you like. I also add some Whisper White cardstock and just leftover strips. When you get those strips all the time from your designer series paper and you're not sure what to do with them, it's a great place to add them just to the inside bottom of your cardstock, your card interior. And then I went ahead and added some designer series paper to my envelope so that they would coordinate together. So you guys can see how much that jazzes up that envelope and it ties everything together real nicely. Well, I hope you guys were able to make it today. My Zoom people, hang tight. Girls, if you want to jump on Zoom, if you're on Facebook, feel free to do so. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, or you can post it in the under the comments section of the Crazy Mom Crafts a Lot Facebook group. Hope you enjoyed and were inspired to try something new today. Thanks so much for joining. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you.